Hello everyone, my name is Rubi Yadav and I am a legal intern at LEXIS and Company. I am pursuing my LLB second year from Mary Professional and Law Institute, MDU Rohtak. I am glad to get this opportunity to present myself at front of you, and today my topic name is defamation, and the sole purpose of my topic is to give you a brief view about the defamation. So it is said that a person's reputation is his property and if possible more valuable than other property. Defamation is the wrong done by a person to another's reputation by written, spoken or words, sign or other visual representation. So defamation is a reasonable restriction on the fundamental right of freedom of speech and expression of our Indian Constitution. Defamation can be a statement that injures someone's reputation, and it could be an act of saying false thing in order to make people have bad opinion of someone. According to some famous professor, defamation is the publication of a statement which tends to lower a person in the estimate of right-thinking members of society, generally, or which tends to make him shun or avoid the person. So there are some essential elements of the defamation, that the statement must be defamatory. So whatever is said for the people, it should be defamatory, it should be false. So now the second essential is that the statement must refer to plaintiff, that in every action of defamation the plaintiff has to prove that not only the statement is defamatory but also that it refers to that plaintiff. Now the third essential is that the statement must be published, which means making known that statement, the matter, to some person other than the plaintiff. Now there are the burden of proof rely on the plaintiff to prove it that the statement is not only the defamatory but it also refers to him or her. Now the types of defamation, there are two types of defamation, that is the libel and slander. Libel is a type of defamation which is a representation in a permanent manner, that is the form of a writing or could be a movie, something like that. Now the second form of defamation is a slander, that means something which is not permanent, that is the spoken by words, by gesture, etc. There was a famous case S&M Apti versus PK Mahanta. In that case, it was held that in order to be defamatory, a publication must tend to lower the plaintiffs in the opinion of men whose standard of opinion court can properly recognize or tend to induce them to entertain or ill opinion of him. So a defamation is both civil and a criminal wrong. So if a statement is defamatory to any person, then the plaintiff can go to the court for the civil for the suit in the civil court, as well as file suit in the criminal wrong as well. So in civil they will get the damages for that defamatory statement or words, and in a criminal wrong the plaintiff can go for the punishment or the punitive damages. Now there are certain defenses against the defamation as well. If the publication is justified or the publication is true for a matter, in such a case, if a newspaper editor wrote too many statements against a person and said they are true about defendant who was government servant, but the defendant had not proof to justify his statement, so it was held as defamatory. Now the second defense is that the fair and the bona fide comment. Fair, that means without malice and must be published in public interest. Now the comment is what? The bona fide comment is that means an expression of opinion on certain fact rather than making a statement of fact. Now the third defense is that the privilege, that could be an absolute privilege or the qualified privilege. The absolute privilege is that anything to be said will not amount to defamatory. That means these privileges are given to the parliament, to the judiciary as well. Now, the qualified privilege is that if something is said in the public interest and without any malice intention, then that could be a defense for the defamation. So, a person has a right to stay with his self-respect and with his reputation, and no one has the right to infringe that person's right to stay with a reputation. And if someone tries to infringe the right, then that could be defamation. That's it for today. I would like to know your views, your feedback about this video in the below comment section. Please like this video and thank you for the day.